Music, to me personally, was a vehicle that gave me purpose, that gave me identity. It was so resonant with me and so strong and so meaningful that it absolutely gave me direction and meaning and purpose. The vision behind Ojai Pixies was that of wanting for a long time really to have a girls choir that would be much of a homage to Little Stars or Zvijezdice. And at that point I had quite a few girls in my surroundings that were fantastic, and they were such pleasure to work with and so adorable, and such great friends also with one another that I also asked them, and would you enjoy being in a choir together? Let's start a choir. And they all jumped on board, and we started. And shortly thereafter, maybe within 2 months, I sent a message to a colleague at Opera Santa Barbara that I have a nice group, and if they were interested in exploring possibility of them singing for the opera, and they were interested because it was still very fresh out of COVID, and we had an opportunity immediately to sing in Tosca, and then next year it was Carmen, and then year after that Pagliacci. So it was immediately really fun experience for girls. I was born what then was known as Yugoslavia. Today you would call it region Croatia. And when I was a teenager, the country fell apart in an ugly war. And as a result, I came as a refugee here, first to Dayton, Ohio, and then from Dayton, Ohio to Ojai Valley. And Ojai Valley was really, I kind of like feel like I was born here again, because it kind of embraced me and was so opening to me. Even though it's such a small little town, it just kind of opened its arm to me, stranger, foreigner with thick accent, with these wild ideas, but here I am, with a music school and several choirs, and entertaining myself and children of Ojai Valley. So in 2006 I moved to Ojai with then partner and my child, and but very quickly I was on my own. And I was lucky enough to meet a really wonderful friend and colleague who was instrumental in connecting me with wonderful people going forward. Schools, musicians, etc. And his name is Smitty, who is still to this day a very important person in my life. And slowly but surely, when you are new in a town or a place, every connection leads to the next connection, to the next connection, and it's really hard to summarize what is exactly an event, because there is no event. There's a whole bunch of series of small events and networking and impressions that you leave, good or bad, that really lead to some of whatever is today. And I worked in different schools and with different kids, and that led to what it is today, in partnership with Smitty.
Well, music has been part of my life since I can remember, and like a lot of piano players, I had formal training early on. Private lessons, I can remember listening to my older sister's lessons and sneaking in afterwards when I was 5 years old and playing something that she had just been playing. I have been writing and singing and recording and enjoying the technical sides of music as well, and hope to do that for my whole life.
I'm 10 years old, and I've been with the Blossoms for 3.5 years, and I've been in the Pixies for 6 months. I decided to join Julia's music program because I went to one of her concerts and I felt really inspired to sing with her. And then I joined Blossoms, and I did that for a while, and we were singing, and that's with the younger kids. And then I auditioned for the Pixies, that are the older group, and that's what I'm in now.
I'm Lolo, I'm 12 years old, and I've been performing with Julia since this past summer. I describe Julia as a teacher as we have the respect for her that we do as a teacher, but we also can talk to her like she's a friend.
My name is Miriam, I'm 12 years old, and I took singing lessons with Julia for a few months and then joined Pixies and became an original Pixie.
Can you hear the voice of the children softly pleading for silence in a shattered world? Angry cries with a message full of hate, blood of the innocent on their hands. Will someone help me to feel the sun again upon my face? For in darkness clears, I know you're near, bringing peace again.
Well, we've been to Zagreb many times, and her maestro is still leading the Zvijezdica Little Stars Choir there, and I could always see how deeply rooted her soul was in her experience as a little girl. So during COVID, whenever we were all trapped inside and all of a sudden all the things that kept us busy were not there anymore, I think it was a time for that to bloom in her heart, and she started the Ojai Pixies. I'm going to start a girls' choir. And it was different from the other choirs we had worked with children in that it was selective, and we picked kids that were based on their potential and their heart and their openness to not just music, but in how to show up in the world and get along with each other as well. And after several years of that, and us not replacing those old things that were in our life, we decided to grow it into a school. And so we now have 5 different choirs of all ages, and our Music Academy Foundation as well. And so the joy and the daring that young people bring to our lives, we feel like we're trying to instill it in a way that they can take it through their whole lives, whether they're professional or semi-professional or avocational, and always have music.